Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Zelp and today we are going to play some Warframe. Now I've been away for a really long time, so obviously there's a lot of updates that I've missed and there's a lot of things that I don't know. And for me to go through all the updates is going to be crazy, so I'm not gonna do that. In fact, I want to try and play this game without even looking at wiki if possible. But I do need help. So I want to try something a little bit different. All this time with all the content creators and with you guys, the audience, it's always been the content creator presenting you something, and I want to try to do that the other way around. Now it might backfire and maybe a really bad idea, but I just want to see how this goes because I know nothing and I want to see if I were to ask you a certain topic, can you share enough information to make me a genius? So basically, if I suck, you suck. And I think this is a pretty interesting way of doing things because instead of me spending a lot of time doing the research and everything, you guys which are already been playing can actually just tell me what to do and what's the best build. And at the end of the day, I will take that knowledge in and I will regurgitate what I think is best and I'll share with you guys. So obviously there's many ways to build something, there's many ways to do certain things, so I want to hear from as many of you guys as possible. Let me know down in the comments. So today when I'm messing around in the Simulacrum with this dude, and while trying stuff out, I learned that they changed the mechanics of blocking. So right now, if you have, so I guess this is more for people who are away, if you block, you take no damage at all, and well, I guess you still get procs. Ooh. And that would be a problem. Okay, I don't know how to get away from this, but basically you take no damage at all. So they could be a level 999 and I could still stand here. And what they did was different weapon, instead of taking how much reduces damage, they now, oh boy, okay, they now, blah, okay, let me out, okay, yeah, so I was saying, now instead of them taking reduced damage, the weapons actually has an angle. So the better blocking weapons like shields, the one with shields and sword, you actually block like I think a 70-degree angle in front of you, so it's like yeah, it's like pretty wide. And if they were to be from the back or from the sides, you'll still take damage. And certain weapons that are not as good as blocking, the degree or the angle is even smaller. And I feel like that's a very interesting concept, but I don't know how I feel about it and what kind of special things I can do. So immediately, of course, once I found this out, I'm like, oh wow, then I rush to my this thing, which I forgot what it's called, and then I go over to the upgrade and I found this mod. This is gonna be really embarrassing to say, but I don't know how to channel. It says that 96% damage taken is reflected when blocking attacks while channeling. I don't know how to channel. I tried every single button that I could find, and I even pulled out the manual and tried to look for the keybinds. I couldn't find one that says channeling, and I just don't know how. So please and thank you, let me know down in the comments. Or is this mod like no longer usable and they just forgot to change what it's supposed to do? I would like to know it because already I have like some ideas, but I just couldn't test them because, well, first of all, I don't know how to channel. Right now, let's take a look at his ability. This character is called Grendel, and by default he's gray, so I guess it's Grendel the Gray. And I feel really weird because his polarity given by default seems to be 2D and 1 dash. Now D polarities are very tanky stuff. I feel like putting narrow-minded, which kind of makes sense because when it comes to feast, there is obviously many different ways you can build this, but then wouldn't you want to not feast that many people? So the reason why you want to use feast is so that you can use your other abilities, which might be stronger. I don't really know, I haven't tried them yet. But if you have too many in you, that sounded wrong, you will potentially drain off all your energy without even being able to use the other skills. So you don't want to have too many. So if you lower the range, you can actually have a more control situation where you can select who you want to take in and who not to. And I'm guessing you want to take in the heavy units, the one that is really strong, so that, because you see it has armor reduction. So if you take someone that doesn't really matter and you reduce his armor, what's that gonna do, right? So it feels like it's more for selected targets, like a heavy unit, take him in, reduce his armor, and then puke him out, kill him, or something like that. So in my opinion, I feel like maybe there is 2D polarities because the game kind of wants us to use narrow-minded. And I tried it. I feel like it's actually not too bad, especially if you're only focusing on feast. 8.5 meters is okay. Go close to him, you know, do a 360 turn or something. You will actually get everyone close to you. Now, next thing I would like to talk about is the armor reduction. I'm not too sure if it's 5% flat or 5% out of the remaining pool. Because if it's like 5% out of, let's say you remove 5% per second. So the first second you remove 5%. The second is going to remove 5% out of the remaining. I feel after meddling with it a little bit, I feel like it's a flat rate, because when I put a lot of power strength in, I find that the enemy actually got his shields completely removed pretty quickly. And I feel like if it's 5% out of, or in this case after this, maybe let's say 10% out of the remaining, it will kind of keep going on for a really long time. It's not as powerful, and it actually by right doesn't go to 0. So I don't know, let me know down in the comments as well. I feel like I have a simple build here, which I go something like this. Let's see if I can build it out real quick. Intensify, maybe feeling expertise. Where is my, there, streamline. And I feel like I want to put one more, there you go, Arbor Secrets. So with this set, I find myself being able to remove 10.4% armor per second. So in theory, if you grab someone, a heavy unit with a gazillion armor, it will go to 0 in less than 10 seconds in your body. And then the other good thing about this is that if you look at the drain, it's really low. So after 10 seconds, so you have the initial cost, which is 7.5 energy. Then after 10 seconds, you're probably going to be using 3.8 energy. And that only comes down to about 12 energy. So for 12 energy, you can kill a really strong, or at least remove all of its armor and kill it easily. Because when you puke him out, he also fall down flat. So you can maybe do a ground finisher or something and kills it really fast. I don't know, what do you guys think? Now, I did experiment a little bit more. I was thinking that maybe we can actually use that lasting sting. So I was actually playing with this twin boss lock, which I feel like it goes so well with the character because of how it looks. It's like a Dota butcher with 2 cleavers. I don't know. So by changing the color, it actually fits him really well. But that is just, you know, the aesthetic point. But let's look at this simple build. Lasting sting. Okay, maybe you can put something else to increase the damage. If you're gonna try with Grineer, let's just put this one. So the idea here is we're playing with gas. Oh yeah, and also something I realized is that this weapon, the Twin Blast Lock, I used to like this weapon for testing because I remember it only does heat damage, but right now it has impact, puncture, and slash. I don't know what's going on. Is this one of the changes that I missed? Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Okay, so the idea here is that among all the DOT damage, obviously slash is really good. Slash is probably the best, but we don't need it to bypass armor because this character can actually reduce the armor, and in about 10 seconds the enemy is going to have 0 armor anyways, so therefore gas can shine. And the second thing, or second point of this build, I feel, is lasting sting. On paper, Lasting Sting is like really good, but in practice, not so much. Because in general, especially for Warframe game, you want to kill the enemy as fast as you can. When you kill the enemy, a lot of good things happen. Enemy dies early, new enemy spawn, you get more loot. Also, if you kill it faster, then you take less damage from that specific enemy. So if you take, let's say, 8 seconds, or rather, let's say you want to go for a one-hit DOT kill thing. So you hit him, and after 8 or even 10 seconds, he died due to DOT damage. But within that 10 seconds, he's constantly doing damage to you. And if you do this to multiple enemies, then that could be a lot of damage. So in this game, I feel like Lasting Sting is only like, I guess it deserves to be a common mod. The thing is, okay, wait, there's also another point that I just suddenly thought of, is that it's very selective to what kind of status, because it's not gonna help with corrosive. It's not gonna help much with electric either, because you can't proc more than one electric at the same time. It's not gonna help much with heat as well, because you can't stack heat procs. So therefore, if you're constantly hitting one same target until it dies, it doesn't really matter if you have the heat generating longer or shorter, because you're constantly hitting it, so it does keep refreshes anyways. So Lasting Sting is sort of one of the not so useful, I would say. Although it sounds really good, I felt like it's not very useful. Maybe with cold procs or radiation, maybe that would work, but other than that, I feel like it's not so useful. So but now with this particular build, so what happened is, at least in my mind, what I'm thinking is that you see an enemy, let's say this one. Oh, let's reduce the amount to 1, okay, and then we make ourselves invincible for the sake of just showing you what I'm trying to say, or at least the concept. So you go really close to him, you hit him a few, oh, how do I hit again? Oh, you hit him a few times, right? And then you swallow him. And then during that duration, as you're swallowing him, you actually see the numbers going up higher and higher. The reason why is because of your, there you go, it actually died in my tummy. So we only did like 5% of the damage from initial when you look at it, but then it died because as the armor is being reduced, the gas procs become higher and higher, and eventually it dies. So yeah, let me know what you think about that as well. It kind of makes Lasting Sting a little bit more useful in this kind of scenario. Yeah, so as a summary, I want you guys to teach me how to play this character, because I have no idea what he's capable of. I want to know how to use channeling, because I have no idea what button does that. And maybe let me know what you guys think about the whole blocking thing, where you take no damage at all, but it's in a cone shape, and also what kind of ideas you have for it, because I'm very interested to know. I guess that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and by next time I mean tomorrow. Bye bye.